We begin with Advent. Advent is a season of anticipation, of preparation. The color for Advent is most often blue, sometimes it's purple. Most often we use blue to mark Advent, and we think of blue as that color of the sky before the sun rises. Right? So Advent is what the world looks like just before the light has come up. So it's 4 weeks where we get to prepare, we get to anticipate. Our scripture readings are about prophecies and the covenant that God made with David and with Abraham, and this promise of the Messiah. Okay, one of the songs that I like during the season of Advent is "Light One Candle and Watch for Messiah." Right? So you put up 4 candles in your little Advent wreath, and you light one each week as you anticipate the coming of the light of the world, right? Interestingly, as we talk about the connection between these seasons and our real life, a couple years ago during the season of Advent was when the Sandy Hook shooting happened. It was like the first or second week of Advent that this awful tragedy happened in our nation. Right? And I remember trying to prepare an Advent service on a Wednesday night for my congregation and saying, how do you connect? How can I not talk about the fact that here we are in the church anticipating the birth of the baby Jesus, and somewhere in our country there is incredible grief because of lost lives to young children? And so then what does anticipating the birth of Christ mean in that space? How does then Advent say, yes, we are still watching for the Messiah. We are still aching for that new life that we know is coming. So Advent is not only about the first coming of Jesus, it's also about anticipating the return, the fulfillment of that ultimate fulfillment of the prophecy, that God will one day come, that death will one day be destroyed forever. So I don't know if other people have sort of those stories of things that happen in the month of December. That this is often a really hard time for people in the frenzy of the holidays and the frenzy of celebration. When something sort of dark happens, it feels like, well, it's not supposed to be like that. This is supposed to be the season of joy, right? And so Advent gives us that paradox. It gives us that place to say, yes, Christ has come, and yes, we need Christ to come again, because the world is not yet what we hope it will be. And so all of that is caught up in the season of Advent. That waiting in anticipation, and also that aching for God to come again, because we still need that good news. We still need the light of the world to come and break into our darkness. These are some questions to integrate into your devotional life or into your thinking during the season of Advent. What are your hopes and dreams for the world? What are the promises of God that you're still waiting for God to fulfill? How is the promise of a Messiah or a return from exile what you need to hear? So Advent is an invitation to enter into that space of anticipation and expectation. What is it that you're still waiting for God to do in your life? What are those things that you're still aching for to happen in your life or in the life of those that you love?